So the Cheltenham Festival is just 3 weeks away now, which means only one thing. The flat season is just 4 weeks away. But no, just kidding. We're just going to be talking about a few movers and shakers in the anti-post markets as we look ahead to the Cheltenham Festival. It is only 3 weeks away, as I say. And a lot of the bookmakers now, if you look on non-runner no bet or non-runner money back, so you can bet anti-post. And if they don't run in whatever race or at all for whatever reason, you'll get your money back. Although you can find value elsewhere for those that are not non-runner no bet. Sometimes you get a bigger price with them. Anyway, there's been plenty happening over the weekend and last week indeed. First place to start, this Tully Hill is now as low as 4-1 for the Supreme. Yet another Willie Mullins crack juvenile to go to war with at the festivals, the Cheltenhams, Punchestowns, Aintrees, etc. This Tully Hill won a listed race, novice hurdle at Punchestown by 9 lengths over the weekend. Looked pretty good in doing so. He was 6-1 for the Supreme directly after that win. They were the initial prices. Then he's been cut again into 4-1 general today. That support continues into Monday. Maybe the people that think they're in the know think that Tully Hill might be the Willie Mullins horse for the Supreme, a race that he has won on God knows how many occasions. And Ballyburn, who is currently the favourite at around even money, he is on the drift, particularly on the exchange. Another trained by Willie Mullins, won at the Dublin Racing Festival, of course, a few weeks ago. But Ballyburn has the option of going 2.5 miles for what they now call, I think it was called the Ballymore. It's now called the Bearing Bingham Novices Hurdle or something like that. That's 2.5 miles on the Wednesday. The Supreme, obviously, is the first race of the festival and gets that underway. So Willie Mullins Bingo is well underway. It will be numerous races. It will be numerous horses. But Tully Hill looks a definite contender for the Supreme. If you ask me, I wouldn't be backing him personally. I thought he was landing on all fours quite a lot to me. He looked more of a chaser in the making rather than a hurdler. He wasn't that slick over the hurdles, in my opinion. That's on Tully Hill. But yep, bit of a shake-up in the Supreme, and Willie Mullins Bingo is well underway. Iroko is a horse we should be talking about. Last year's Martin Pipe handicap winner. He was thought to be out for the season. He sustained a foot injury when making his debut over chasers at Warwick in November. He was thought to be out for the season, trained by John Joe O'Neill, but he has recovered more quickly than expected by the looks of it. Rumours started about his fitness a couple of weeks ago when he was left in a couple of races at Cheltenham rather than taken out at the latest scratching stage. He is in the Turner's Novices Chase, which is over the 2.5 miles. He's 6-1 for that, this Iroko. It would be a big leap for him, really, to be going into that race having been injured, but he had a racecourse gallop at Haydock after racing on Saturday. That was over 10 fences. There wasn't all that many people there to witness it, but apparently it went well. And Iroko could well be, if he remains to be fit and has come out of that racecourse gallop well, could well be on target for the Turners. And it looks like Fact to File, who is in the same ownership, JP McManus, same ownership. Fact to File was the favourite for the Turners, having beat Gaelic Warrior at the Dublin Racing Festival, but looks likely not to be going to the Turners and could well be going to the Brown Advisory, for which Fact to File is favourite. That would open the door for Iroko, the now fit again Iroko, to possibly go and be a Turners contender himself. But I still wouldn't be ruling out Gaelic Warrior in the Turners. I said that the other week after he got beat, and he fell actually at the last in that 2-horse race against Fact to File, but he is a bit of enigma, this Gaelic Warrior, but he's been second at the festival twice in his career already. I don't think we should be writing him off just yet, although he could well throw in a stinker when he fancies or doesn't fancy it. The big race in the UK over the weekend just gone was the Grade 1 Ascot Chase. Completely inconsequential, if you ask me. Another four-runner Grade 1. The winner led from start to finish. Pretty much a waste of time all round, if you ask me. I mean, it just hammered home the expectation for the Irish to dominate at the festival in the likes of the Ryanair Chase, but particularly the Gold Cup. Pic D'Oray won. He loves Ascot. He led from start to finish every single yard. A great ride by Harry Cobden. He's just come off winning a Grade 1, and he is 25-1 for the Ryanair. He's not entered in the Gold Cup, but he has won a Grade 1 in the UK, and he is still available at 25-1 for a festival race. It just shows that how far off our staying chasers are from their Irish counterparts. It also factored into that price. Is as usual with the Paul Nicholls horses. He always reserves the option for his top horses to skip Cheltenham and go to Aintree. He thinks he can pick up. He's more likely to pick up more prize money there than running down the field at Cheltenham. It's fair enough from a business and trainer's business point of view, but is it good for racing? Really, to be missing Cheltenham? Not for me. But yeah, Pic D'Oré, 25 to 1 for the Ryanair. What more do I need to say there? Not a lot. Connections were apparently happy with Lompress, who was second in that forerunner Ascot Chase. And they apparently are still heading to the Gold Cup. This is a horse that was off for over a year, returned at the Winter Million meeting a few weeks ago at Linkfield, and won well. Ran to an RPR that day at Linkfield of 170. Protectorat, who was second that day, has since gone and ran a stinker himself. So that Linkfield form might not be up to much. The Racing Post gave Lompress a rating at Ascot over the weekend of 159, so well below form. People are going to say it was a funny race. 4 runners, they let the leader run away. Ahoy Senor travelled well for a long period in that race, but was just too far back. Lompress was also just too far back and never really looked like closing the gap. And Connections have come out and said they're happy with Lompress and it's full steam ahead for the Gold Cup, of which he is 14 to 1 to win. He was going well in it last year as well before coming a miss. Not for me. I mean, it's not Cheltenham Gold Cup winning form, is it really? Winning at Linkfield against Protectorat, who's probably could run in a handicap next time his rating has dropped that much, and then not getting anywhere near winning a Grade 1 in the UK against only UK opposition and non-Irish. Not for me. Not for me. Galopin Des Champs is even money for the Gold Cup. And to be honest, as I said on this channel way back in October, and a lot of water has passed under the Gold Cup bridge since then, Galopin Des Champs is the winner. He's fantastic. When he's on form, which is most of the time, he's pretty consistent. He's fantastic. He doesn't look like getting beat to me. Another thing to mention as well, I think it was Friday, Paul Nicholls unleashed one, a French import called Tishan. And he won well at Exeter. Paul Nicholls might have another good one on his hands here. He really did win pretty well at Exeter, over seven lengths. And he is, as a result of that, the shortest price UK contender for the champion bumper at the Cheltenham Festival, as low as 8 to 1. There's 4 or 5 horses in the shorter than him in that champion bumper market. It is pretty wide open at the moment, but those 4 or 5 horses, of course, are from Ireland. They won't all run, obviously. We need to find out, chop and change, where they may or may not run. And inevitably so, Paul Nicholls said in his comments after Tishan's impressive Exeter win that he has the option to go to Aintree Festival instead of Cheltenham, which on this occasion is fair enough, given it is the 19th of February, given this was his UK debut. Yes, he might not recover in time for Cheltenham, and he would be a leading contender at Aintree, of course. Also to touch on, while we're talking about Cheltenham bumpers, don't forget this Fernie Hollow, who won the champion bumper at the festival in 2020, has been injured and been a bit in and out since. Won a Grade 1 chase, I think, novice chase at Punchestown or such like. But he could be on the way back. So National Hunt fans need to take note of Fernie Hollow, who was a very exciting horse. Remember, in that champion bumper in 2020, also in that race was Bob Ollinger, and he didn't win. Fernie Hollow did. So, really good form from that champion bumper a few years ago. Fernie Hollow is entered at Gowran Park this weekend. He hasn't ran for a very, very long time. And if that goes well, and it would have to be a big if, given that he's been off a really, really long time, he could rock up at Cheltenham, with Connections apparently saying that the champion chase is a possible for Fernie Hollow. He's currently 25 to 1 for that. Obviously, you'd be pretty crazy to be back in that, given that he may well not be fit. And we'll find out at Gowran. But it would add a nice element to that champion chase race. We've got El Fabiolo, who's odds on, but his jumping's not perfect. And then we've got John Bon, who is second favourite, and them two are way clear of the rest, really, in the anti-post markets. And remember, John Bon actually got beat last time as well when he was about 1 to 3 or something like that at Cheltenham. So plenty to look forward to. We're going to have SD back on Thursday night as we look forward to the Ida Chase at Newcastle and I think it's called the Coral Trophy at Kempton. So a couple of good races to look forward to there. But really, all eyes and all roads do lead to Cheltenham Festival at this time of the year. We're in mid-February. It is pretty quiet between now and the middle of March. And remember, after that, all eyes, particularly on this channel, will be on the flat with the Lincoln just 8 days after the Gold Cup this year. So plenty to look forward to, and keep it here on Racers Now.